Episode 28. Effect a regression. Even as grown-ups, we all still have childlike wants, needs, and dreams just under the surface. The charmer's greatest power lies in tapping into these hidden currents to inspire strong emotional bonds and attachments. In his infamous book, The Art of Seduction, Robert Greene outlines the strategies for causing a regression that makes your target relive the overwhelming needs and attachments of their childhood. At our cores, Greene argues, we forever crave the unconditional acceptance and nurturing that defined our very first bond, that with our mother in earliest infancy. Or if we were deprived of this motherly paradise, we may long for it even more fervently as the Eden we never knew. The master charmer can fill this gaping void by perfectly embodying the endlessly patient, loving, nurturing figure we've secretly yearned for since our first cries. Greene describes 4 potent regression pathways for the charmer to travel. The infantile regression. Here you envelop your target in the same unconditional positive regard of a doting, accepting mother figure. No matter how badly they act out, you soothe them without judgment, tending to their every need with the same infinitely patient care of a newborn. You recreate the pre-speech mother-child closeness that formed the base of their psyche, and the feelings of blissful security and wholeness they've spent their entire life chasing in relationships, careers, and pursuits. You are giving them the ultimate gift, to emotionally regress to that original state. The Oedipal regression. Once the foundation of unconditional nurturing is established, you now assume the more complex role of the stern, yet forgiving, frustrating yet rewarding parent figure. You replicate the very contradictions and tensions that charged our primary caregivers with such electrifying power in our psyches. You mete out the same oscillating patterns of tenderness, discipline, prohibition, and mercy that rendered our parents at once our most cherished companions and most formidable authorities. This dredges up all the intricate family dynamics that remain hauntingly unresolved, for you are embodying the familiar roles they've yearned to finally make sense of and master. The dramas they were too immature to process now receive new life animated through your presence. The ego-ideal regression. Most of us harbor an idealized image of the boldest, most adventurous and admirable spirit we embodied and longed for in youth, before making the many compromises and renunciations that adulthood demanded. You give new breath to this archetype, resurrecting the atmosphere and emotional energy of youth's exhilarating courtships, puppy loves, and romantic adventures. You evoke the atmosphere of pursuing an ethereal beloved, or the heroic project of chasing down the fantasy of our dream self before life's contractions. An intoxicating blend of nostalgia and yearning that renders you both temptress and sublime aspiration. The reverse parental regression. You become the needy, fragile, impetuous child to their parental figure, craving their attention, affection, and protection. You induce their unconscious desires to nurture and parent that arose as they grew up, and saw younger ones replace their role as the beloved offspring. An opportunity to experience that primal bond, saturated with both dependency and authority, from the novel vantage. You bring out their unconscious wish to finally coddle, scold, and experience the self-importance of the giving role, rendering the pleasures of their own childhood freshly limbic. Whichever path you tread, the keys to mastering regression lie in fastidious attention to your target's personal history, tracing the intricate anxieties, frustrations, pleasures, and disciplinary patterns that shape the uniqueness of their psyche's root conflicts. You do not just peddle in generalized childhood nostalgia. You chisel your performances straight from the dramas that forged your target in the crucible of their unique family matrix. You study their biographical specifics with an anthropologist's zeal, from fragmented anecdotes, slips of emotion, half-surfaced memories. You reverse engineer the most formative events and relationships. You then tailor your personas, your moods, tone, words, gestures, punishments, and endearments, to engage them in a spellbinding reprisal of these definitive scripts, rife with the same vulnerabilities, hungers, and ambivalences that first rendered those experiences so electrifying. Done skillfully, regression progressively disarms your target of their usual adult layer of defenses and repressions as you make the roots of their unconscious psyche consciously animated. You make available for re-experiencing the remembered promises and frustrations that once sent them reeling as children, now rendered richly available in the novelty of relating to you. Their normal boundaries dissolve in pursuit of the regressive pleasure you provide access to. For you have become the surrogate players in the primal dramas that scarred, enthralled, and shaped them. At its deepest levels, seduction through regression means positioning yourself as the elusive answer, the fulfillment of their most subterranean longings and unresolved strivings. You have made their oldest, most lustful conundrums present and navigable for the first time since childhood, allowing them the novel chance at releasing what had for so long remained impacted. In embodying their formative lack and secret ideals, you render yourself irreplaceable in their unspooling psyche. From the infantile tonic to slake their thirst for total abandon and selfless devotion, to delivering the sternness and structure they furtively crave, to reliving the idealization of ego pursuits pre-birthed in their family womb, to allowing regression to the helpless child they were prematurity. The possibilities for captivation are as vast and particular as the nexus of anxieties and desiring that each of us first took form within. To become seductive requires nothing less than alchemizing ourself into the elixir to salve their most archetypal hungers. In effecting regression, one does not just toy with childish whims, one channels the subterranean stream that has propelled their deepest urgings since infancy, becoming the missing kombucha to send those torrents flowing with new force. You make the target's oldest siren songs finally receive embodied form in your alternating nurturances and transgressions, rendering you alchemically fused to the deepest roots of their raptures and agonies. Their surrender is inevitable as you harness the fluid that carved the original labyrinth of their desire, now made consciously, ecstatically present. Now, something important. Make it a daily habit to learn something truly beneficial that enhances your life. Remember, the content you feed your mind is like nourishment for your brain. Be deliberate in your choices. Otherwise, be wary. Algorithms are often crafted to manipulate your thoughts. Reflect on that. Now, we're excited to announce that we're now welcoming contributions through subscriptions to aid our upcoming projects and bring you exceptional content. Join us by subscribing today